Hi folks, Wrathe here for Ibanez UK, and today I'm going to give you some bite-sized tips and hints on how to get those squealy harmonics above the pickups. And it's actually really very simple. It's all about harmonics basically. So what we're looking at here is the way that the string vibrates in different waveforms, and as those waveforms meet you get node points, and that's why certain points on your guitar's fretboard, naturally the harmonics resonate. So you've got the obvious one is obviously the octave at the 12th fret that we all know and love. So if you play an open G, for instance, and then you touch the 12th fret, you're going to get that natural harmonic, and they exist. Everybody knows them at sort of 7 and 5. Most people use those quite frequently, but they actually exist across the entire fretboard or across the entire string. So if I just run through that and just lightly touch the string and give you a load of harmonics. And obviously they go all the way up. They don't adhere to the end of your fretboard. They're all the way along the string. So that means they're above the pickups too. And one of the cool things about them is that the same harmonics that are down at this end are around about kind of, 3 are the same harmonics that are up at this end. So you don't have to play them above the pickups, you can play them down this end of the fretboard as well. And basically the way it works is the harmonics, if you wanted to be really geeky and look at the pitch that was being created by each of the harmonics, it's going this way and it flips over this way, same pattern, towards the bridge of the guitar. You can get really geeky about that if you want to and try and figure out, well, is on the G, is this a D? And all of that sort of business. And that's quite useful if you're going to be using it in a very musical sense. You can treat it as if you're trying to do a pinched harmonic, and this is what Satch does. He uses his fretting hand to grab the whammy bar, to depress it, so it starts in a depressed position, like we all do on a Monday morning, and then he strikes a pinch harmonic, if you like, which is actually causing the note to be a natural harmonic. And then raises the bar back up or does whatever he wants with it. That kind of thing. So you don't necessarily have to do it as a pinch harmonic with your pick. You can do what I do, and that's kind of use the flesh of your thumb to find the actual node point and then pick behind it. It's almost like doing this. Like doing harping. If you're used to doing harping, it's the same kind of vibe really. And if you've got a HSH configured guitar like this one, then there tends to be one just at the back end of the front pickup, the neck pickup, around about here. And then there tends to be one just behind the middle pickup, the single. And then there are a couple just on the edge of the bridge pickup, which are really high. So you can do some really quite squealy sounds with those. Another person who's the absolute master of this technique is someone called Matthias Eklund, who's an incredible guitar player. If you haven't already heard of him, you've got to go and check him out. If you've heard of him, you'll know that the guy is basically a human whammy pedal. He can pull out noises from the guitar that you just, wow, how does he do that? Plugging straight into a Laney amp, that's it. And so what he does really well is he uses his fretting hand to tap out the harmonics. So yes, he can do all the other ones, picking it, and he'll probably do everything, but what he tends to do is he hits them with his finger to get them to resonate. So let me give you an example of that, and we'll just start doing a really simple exercise using the 12th, the 7th and the 5th harmonics on the G string. And the G string is actually quite a useful string for doing this kind of whammy bar stuff, so we'll pick that one out. So here we go. What we're doing is we're using the bony part of the last bit of your digit on your second finger, and the rest of your fingers are kind of muting the strings. So the only one we're going to let ring out is the G string, and we're hitting it at the 12th fret. And obviously, as soon as you hit it, you can manipulate that with the whammy bar. So everybody always does the kind of squealy stuff. Steve Vai did some great stuff in the 80s where he would do something called an elephant call, and that's where you pluck two notes together, two harmonics together at the 5th fret with the whammy bar depressed, and you pull it up. So let me give you an example of that. So these are both on the 5th fret harmonics on the G and the B string. Play them together. You can see how they kind of have that dissonance between them, and that's the sound he was going for basically. So you play them and you get that kind of elephant call, and that's what it's referred to as. So you depress the strings and play it if you want to. And then you pull back on the bar. Once you get to the, the regular position, you keep going. Another great thing you can do is if you've plucked one of the harmonics, you don't just necessarily have to kind of dip the bar or pull it up. You could gargle it. So that sounds really cool on harmonics. So you get that kind of laser beam effect. And the same applies, in terms of playing two harmonics together down here as well. So the G and B string tend to work quite nicely. You get some strange alien type sounds if you depress the string and then pluck both strings at the same time. So something like this. So set one of the harmonics off and then go and get the other one. So you get that real kind of alien spacecraft kind of vibe. So that's all I'm doing there, is I'm plucking the G string at the harmonic I mentioned just in front or just behind the neck pickup, letting that ring, and then picking the B string harmonic as well at the same place. And the way those waveforms interact, especially when you're dipping the bar, creates that kind of alien sound. So yes, you can do a load of crazy stuff and put all the kind of squealy notes in, but I think one of the great uses of being able to play harmonics well is that you can substitute an actual fretted note for one during a solo. And then that gives you a whole new world. It gives you the chance to move around, play another note with it, and all that kind of stuff. So I would really recommend doing that. If you've got maybe you're playing this note, you're playing the B at the 12th fret, try just hitting the harmonic there instead. And then if you can get a real good touch with this, if you've played that harmonic here, try going, as that's ringing out, try going and lightly touching the fret, the string at the 5th fret, and then you get the next octave. So you go. And then you can start playing melodies with them. And I just think it's just another string to your bow. It's another way of phrasing things, isn't it? So there we are. I'm sure you guys know all about this stuff already, but if it's helped one person who didn't, then our time has been worthwhile. So hopefully I'll catch up with you again sometime in internet land or in person. Until then, take care.